We're recording. I have my washing out of the dryer. It's over there now.
It's now in a pile on the floor.
Welcome to Multiple Nerdgasm with your hosts, Matt, Luke, and Dan. Multiple Nerdgasm, your guide to all things nerdy.
It's down. It's
Where it
what's in the pile?
belongs.
A wet
It's still
pile.
Yeah, it's in a pile in the basket, still wet, and it means I'm going to have to rewash it and re-dry it tomorrow because who leaves the dryer on low? Just
I
crank
didn't
that
know
shit.
dryers had settings other than
Yeah,
put this on until it dries.
mine just mine. Our house came with some, which probably did have a low setting actually because it was older. But we got new ones, and I put stuff in, and it goes, "What is that?" And I say, "Oh, that's just clothes," and it goes, "All right, I got it."
What else is it expecting other than clothes?
Oh, like
That's a possum. A wet possum.
no, like
but the-
towels or the bedding or whatever. Yeah.
Right.
The one
Ones
I
that it
used
can
to
go
have-
real hard on.
Yeah.
The one I used to have, there was just a cupboard button. So you just put the clothes in, you hit cupboard, and it would work out what's in there, and then dry it so you can just put it directly into the cupboard.
Oh, you know what? At first I was like, is he saying cupboard? No, he can't be saying cupboard. He must be saying covered. And
I
then
still
it was
don't
cupboard.
understand. What does it do?
It just works out what it is and then makes it dry enough that when it stops, it can go straight in the cupboard.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
It doesn't sort them though.
No, unfortunately.
Folds them.
That's the
Right.
dream.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what
That's
doesn't
That's
really.
what my
Yeah.
dryer does.
Have you used? I know you probably have. Both of you used those stupid washer dryer fucking combos in Europe.
Oh. Yeah. I hate those.
Why
They're
are
the
people
worst.
living like that?
Yeah,
Why are
don't
people
do that.
living like that?
Remember we're in
I'll
France
see you in
and
3 days.
Yeah.
we were trying to just wash and dry our clothes. It wasn't even like we had
Yeah.
a lot of clothes in there. It just did
No.
nothing.
It doesn't
used-
wash properly or dry properly.
No, and then we used one in Scotland when we were there, and it was in like we had like a Airbnb thing, and we had plenty of time, so I was just like, yeah, just let it dry everything, and everything came out like a fucking crumpled up piece of paper. Like I've got pants that have just not been the same. They have permanent
been
fucking
traumatized.
creases all through them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, why are people living like that?
Yeah. I had one in Singapore. When
And you know
Spain
what
was
else?
an issue.
People in Australia, if you still do this, people certainly used to do this, was hang clothes outside. Yeah,
Good old
but nobody
heels
does that
hoist.
here. Nobody does that here.
Nobody does that.
Everybody uses the dryer for always and then forever.
That's
I don't have anywhere to hang clothes.
You've all got dryers, but none of you have kettles. You're the odd one out for having a
That's
kettle.
right.
Now, when you told me that, it blew my mind. And I asked the Americans at my work, do you guys have kettles? And they're like, no, we don't. And I'm like, what happens if you want to boil water? And one of them goes, oh, I don't know, put a cup in the microwave. I'm like, fucking, what? Really?
Yeah, that is the answer.
But what do you do? That's right. You got the drip coffee machines if you want.
Yeah,
coffee.
I guess
So-
they don't
yeah.
make tea and they don't do coffee the same way.
Yeah, yeah.
So instant coffee like a Moccona or a Nescafe Blend 43 where you spoon granules into boiling water, that doesn't exist in America.
You can get it, but people don't drink that very often. In fact, I saw a thing the other day. Starbucks do make little tubes of it for like travel and stuff, so it is
Right,
around.
right.
And I was like, oh, that's what we all used to drink.
But
when
they're
I was
like,
a
but
kid.
how do I get the water hot enough?
Yeah, well, they're traveling. It's probably kettles in these exotic places like Australia.
yeah.
I can see my kettle from here.
It's also instant coffee there too, but they don't know that. Yes. They also have, everybody here has toaster ovens. We don't have one because I just can't see the need for it.
Like
but everybody here
a
has them.
one-story grill that sits on your countertop? Is that
Correct.
what you mean?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
It's like you've got an oven and you've got, I guess they don't have toasters. We have a toaster, a slot toaster.
What?
Because that's what
you
I'm
don't have
accustomed
toasters either?
What?
to. They
Why
have
am I
toaster
fucking
ovens.
blown?
They have those big things. If they want toast,
Yeah.
you get the big toaster thing that you pull the thing down and they'll put it in and they'll do it that way.
Like a sandwich press thing.
No, it's more like a
More
it's
like
like
a hotel buffet.
you know when you use the oven, it's got what they call the top section. We call it a broiler here, but it's not called that in Australia. What
grill.
the fuck is that called? The grill. Yeah,
screw it,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just
like
just the grill.
A desktop, one of the countertop
Desktop
version of that.
grill.
Yeah, Everybody has those. And the one at work is also an air fryer. And I was like, well, that's useful.
Yeah, okay. Have you ever
Americans
air
keep
fried a
getting
piece of
weirder
toast?
and
That's what I
weirder.
want.
I've air fried a grilled cheese, and that works pretty well.
Amazing.
Which is basically 2 pieces of toast with cheese in the middle.
All right. Now, I did what I said I was going to do last week, and I went to the movies. I saw
you
it
did?
28 weeks later.
Oh. And?
I enjoyed it. And the good thing is, it's not like it's you had to have remembered seeing
Okay.
the first 2 movies or
Okay.
anything. Because I cannot remember them. I saw them, what
I
feels
know
like
the
28
first one
years
pretty
ago.
well, but the second
Yes.
one, I think I'd struggle remembering the details.
Yeah, I don't
Well,
remember
all
that
that
at
you
all.
need to remember is zombies in UK, and
Yeah.
now they've just quarantined UK. No one goes in, no one goes out. That's just
Right.
it. And no, it was
As
really
it
good.
should be.
Are they zombies in this? Or are they
There are
just...
zombies in this.
No, but like, because they weren't zombies technically. They were just
Oh, they're-
infected grumpy people. They are zombies now?
Yeah,
Well, they're
yeah, still
same as they
still
always
the
were.
infected. Yeah,
Okay, I wasn't
Still
sure
the
if they pivoted and they just were calling them zombies now.
I think
They say
I
the
think
they say the Z word?
I can't remember if they say the
can't
Z word
remember.
in the others at all.
In the first one, they definitely don't.
Yeah.
I think they do say infected,
Infected,
Yeah,
that's what they
yeah.
say. Yeah.
All right, cool.
but it's a zombie. But it's about like a small settlement that's sort of been able to isolate themselves just off the shore. And so like
okay.
when the tide goes out, there's like a little walkway. When the tide's in, no one can get in across, so they manage to isolate. And it's
This
about
does
the
sound
story
good. I do
of
wanna
like
watch this.
the dad taking his son out for his first time to go out across into
Fuck a
mainland
zombie.
to try and it was actually to go out and get his first kill.
You go
Oh,
to the
okay.
Great Western Highway. That's where
Yeah.
the zombies hang out in the evening.
Take your peek, mate.
But little spoilers. I have to
Little
talk about
tiny
the ending. There's
spoilers.
no way I can get around without talking about the ending.
Okay.
The
okay.
ending it ends quite well. Like the movie's sort of got this serious tone throughout the entire thing. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff happens. The kid's gonna go off and find himself, type of thing, and it's all good, all good. And then as he's walking along, some old guys in like bright jumpsuits jump out and start judo chopping and fighting the zombies that are around him and doing flips and backflips and just really different tone of the entire movie. And
Odd.
it felt like it was like a post-credit scene to throw away something at the end, but no, this is actually the end of the movie. And it's because
Danny Boyle.
there's
It is Danny Boyle?
Yeah.
Still? Yeah.
and
So,
they've
yes, we're
already
interviewing him.
announced the sequel.
Yeah. They're making 3.
And I think the sequel is going to be a very different tone with how this one ended.
Interesting.
Like,
Okay, so what is interesting about this is that number 2 was not Danny Boyle.
Right.
Somebody else
Yeah.
did that, but he's back to do number 3. Huh.
Yeah.
4 and
3,
5.
4,
Turns
and
into-
5.
Right. Okay.
but yeah, no, it's just these sort of older people, just like in nice matching different color. They're matching jumpsuits, but different colors, and
Right.
just doing
So Squid
flips
Games.
and yeah, it was comical.
Yeah, that's odd. That's really odd.
And then I went online, and everyone's
have
sort of
to
saying
watch
the
it.
same thing. Like,
Yeah, I've
just
seen people saying. I
blindsided
didn't know
us.
what
I
the
mean
ending
that number
was. but-
4, like fucking 28 centuries later or whatever it's going to be, is going to be.
Well,
kung fu
they already
movie.
have a name for it. It's
Oh,
28
okay.
years later, the Bone Temple.
Oh.
So it's staying the same
Okay.
time period, I guess. So it might have done that thing where they filmed them back to back, I'm guessing.
I think it's a typo. I think it's the Boner Temple, and that's
Yeah.
where
Boner
you
Temple.
fuck a zombie. That's
Yeah,
the,
right in the
that's what they
temple.
call the brothel, the Boner Temple.
No, but you put it in their fucking head, you know, in the
Right.
temple.
Yep.
That's going to be the
But yeah.
thumbnail this week. It's Luke fucking a zombie in the head.
If I was going to fuck a zombie to death, how would I do it? You'd have to fuck it in the brain. You have
It's
to.
the only way.
Yeah, I mean, I'd want to finish in its brain, sure.
But no, I recommend going to see it and, or just seeing it.
I definitely. Well, I don't know if I'll go and see it, but I do.
Yeah, I don't think I can
watch it.
swing that.
But when it's
because
available, definitely.
there is a
definitely worth
movie that
watching.
I want to go see at the movies just because it's a spectacle movie. And I'm sure we're going to talk about it because we've got some news related. We can do that now. We can do it
We can
later.
do that now because I think I know what movie you're talking about, and I nearly was bored enough to go and see it today.
Really? Okay. Well, I'm talking about the F1 movie.
I want to watch this too. I
I've
don't
heard-
know if I'll see it at the movies. I know I'm going to want to watch Superman, and I don't know how many movies trips I'm gonna get this year.
Yeah.
Because
That's fair.
but the F1, I sort of saw it and I looked at it and went, he's far too old to be a Formula One driver. Like,
Yeah.
decades
Surely
too old.
that'll be the
That's the
plot,
point.
though.
Yeah, but
It's
it's
to
not
entice
like,
people like us who are also too old to go
Yeah.
see it because
If it was-
maybe.
if it was-
maybe.
If it was Timothy Chalamet doing it, I'd be like,
Yeah.
not interested. I don't want
Also-
to. Yeah, I'm sure he could do it.
Yeah. He can
he's
play
too
Charles
buff.
Leclerc.
He'd never meet the weight class. He's weighs too much.
Yeah.
You got to be like 55 kilos or something. His muscle mass is way more than that. Just unrealistic. But why would you want to go see it?
Well, I've heard that it's much like Maverick. It's a very kind of 80s style movie that has a plot that you could basically ignore so that you can focus your attention on the cars that are exploding around
The
you.
spectacle. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what I want sometimes.
Okay. Yeah, sometimes you need that.
And from what I've heard, the racing scenes are like it is the racing movie now. If you
Yes.
want to see that shit.
Yeah. It's Drive to Survive, the movie.
Like, yeah, as far as like in car action, like making it feel like you're in a Formula One car, it is so far it's the number one now from what I've heard anyway.
Yeah,
plot
right.
garbage, action sequences. If you like fast cars, you should probably see this in a theater. Is what I heard.
I think if you do a movie like this well, this is the best kind of movie. You know what I mean? Like, just not every movie has to
No.
have a plot that really stumps you, and you know.
Yes, like I
takes
know
you
I'm
this
not going to come home and go.
direction.
Maybe I could be a Formula One.
Yeah, that's right. But what I love is that we're like, it's Brad Pitt, so it's relatable. It's a guy just like us.
Yeah, yeah. You know, guy who's married to Angelina Jolie, like us.
Yeah,
Aren't they divorced?
Good point. Good point.
I think he got drunk and punched one of their children, and she threw him out. I think that's what happened.
Yeah.
Oh, is
I
that
don't
just
wanna
your
make-
theory?
I don't. No. I don't want to make light of it, but I think that's what happened. I think.
Yeah.
Oh, how are you supporting someone that punches children?
I'm not supporting that.
his own child, and like I think
I
they're an
don't think
adult
they are
now.
his own child. I think
Well,
they borrowed them from other people. That's
yeah, sure.
not that makes it any better or worse. Like you just don't do it. Hang on.
I'm going to go to movies
Brad
again next week, though.
And Angelina divorced yet? Question mark. Somebody's like, are they divorced yet?
Yeah, come on.
Have
I'm just
I-
hanging
got
here.
my shot?
Yeah.
They are divorced. 8 years. They
Oh.
signed off on December 30th last year.
How do you split up the
Oh.
children? Because didn't they have like 30 of them?
Yeah. I'm assuming
I have a
if
feeling-
what Dan is saying is true,
Yeah,
I'm
that's
assuming
not
she's
within.
got them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it just felt like
Because
every
you-
time they went on holiday, they'd come back with another one.
Yeah,
But you
just
can't do a custody
borrow 'em.
battle and go, I didn't punch this one. Surely this one can live with me.
So just like, he's got a fair point.
Yeah.
He's dismissed. Next. It's the same case, Your Honour. It's just another child.
There's a lot of kids here to go through.
Oh, I'm going to go to movies again this week. I'm going to go see the new Jurassic World, which I just have a feeling is nothing
looks
like
awful.
Jurassic World. It looks like they had an idea for an alien movie or a Predator movie,
yes.
and then just swapped it out for dinosaurs.
It
I'll be
literally looks
honest.
like that.
This one looks better than the last couple, but I found them so awful that I just am not giving this any of my time.
This one, I can't, like, I watched the trailer. It's like, you're exactly right, Luke. It's got the even the trailer, the vibe of it is like, it's an alien movie.
Yeah.
Like, and I just can't.
I mean, if I just heard
It's
you
so
two describing
strange.
this, it's like Alien but with dinosaurs. I'm like, yeah, it sounds fucking great.
yeah, I
No,
mean,
but
maybe.
I just got the
No,
feeling
I'm sure
that
it's
when I saw the trailer, it just like when you're
It just doesn't
watching
seem
the
like Jurassic
jungle
Park.
and the guns, I'm sort of like this was designed for something else. Someone,
It's-
producers just gone, we need another dinosaur, we need another Jurassic World, put that on it, and away we go.
Because I think the premise of this is they're going to an island, and the island is where all the reject dinosaurs went, and they're all mutants and freaks. And...
Why didn't they just kill them?
Right. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think that's the premise.
The first Jurassic Park movie made sense because there was a very clear motivation for bringing dinosaurs back from the
Yes.
dead. The second one made sense too because
Some
there's
of them
still
got
fucking
out.
dinosaurs there. We need to deal with this.
Yeah.
Beyond that, I don't see why we're still making dinosaurs.
I still can't get over with Jurassic World how they went, oh, people are bored with dinosaurs now. We have to
Yeah.
go create a different one
Yeah,
because people are bored
aren't
with the ones we're
with
showing
the
them.
zoos that we currently do have with real animals.
Like, I had a chance to ride a Triceratops. I don't need another weird one I don't know anything about. Just
Okay.
give me that. I'm happy.
I've ridden a
That's
Triceratops.
the thumbnail.
What else you
That's
got?
now going to be the thumbnail.
Luke on a Triceratops.
Yeah, I know the exact.
Don't ask
photo of
ChatGPT
him
to
I'm
do it with a
gonna use.
purple Triceratops. It knows what
Oh,
you're
yeah,
up to.
True.
I got in trouble for that. But there's some news this week. I think started by speculation because at the F1 premiere, Tom Cruise showed up.
Yes. Yeah.
And I was reminded that they
Mind
had
you, Tom
worked
Cruise
together.
is a Formula One fan. I've seen
No,
him.
no,
I've
of
seen him
course.
turn up.
Yeah, he's in the Mercedes garage a lot, and he's good friends with Lewis Hamilton. Makes sense. But he was
Hamilton
was
fucking
very
loves this
there.
movie, by the way. Have you
oh,
heard
I'm
him?
sure he does.
Yeah, he loves it.
What did he say?
He just said it was the most accurate movie ever made about
Yeah, right, okay.
being a Formula One driver.
I mean, he did
What was the
produce
last
it,
one?
so it's in his
The Lion-
best
and
interest.
which are the other ones, I suppose?
But so Tom Cruise is there, and somebody, I guess, they started asking him, "Oh, you did a racing movie a long time ago," and he's like, "Yeah, I did." And then,
I fucking love Days of Thunder, and that holds up.
so then people started asking. I guess this kind of seems to have happened organically. What about a crossover between Days of Thunder and F1? And then they were like, "Yeah, actually, maybe." Because so what? And then they apparently. Allegedly, they have been discussing the fact that Brad Pitt's character and Tom Cruise's character from Days of Thunder would probably be friends of
Could meet
some
up.
persuasion.
Yeah.
In
You could write them into the same movie. Yeah.
and so they are.
I mean, Days of Thunder is about NASCAR, of
Yes.
course. But
they're still-
You could have that. Yeah. I mean, you could have that Brad Pitt is no longer allowed in the Formula
Formula One,
and
so
so
he's
Yeah.
going to
he
slum it
wouldn't be the
back in.
first person
We've
to
just
go from
noticed how
Formula One
old you
into
are.
the-
And,
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's no way it could go the other way around where
You
Tom
go
Cruise.
from NASCAR to Formula One. No.
No, not when
You're too old for
well
NASCAR.
past.
We'll move you into the Formula One.
Tom Cruise will demand their whole production so that he can learn to drive an F1 car.
Yes.
Though. Actually, he already knows. He definitely
yeah,
knows.
I've seen him.
He's-
I've seen him do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Good point.
Days of Thunder is a terrific movie.
I'm
And
going to rewatch that.
dare you to watch it. It's
Tony Scott, right?
Want to watch NASCAR? It is. Yes, it is Tony Scott.
Hmm.
And Robert Duvall plays his like mentor,
right.
who like builds his car. But yeah, it's a great movie.
There's one part in the movie I don't get is how the rivalry becomes a friendship. Because they're just rivals, and then all of a sudden we're now friends after you get out of the hospital.
Well, I mean, yeah, okay. But the same
I
thing
think
happened
it's
with Nicky
similar.
Lauder and
I was going to say, Rush is a good movie.
Rush is a great movie.
But no,
That's,
sometimes you don't have
what's
to
his
pick
name?
movies apart; just enjoy them.
Ron Howard. Ron Howard did Rush, right?
Yes. Have you heard about Ron Howard's new movie? Let me just
I feel like I have, but I don't remember. I know I saw his name attached to something.
hold on. Let me just. There's this one specific thing about it that I thought was. Oh Christ! There's so many. Fucking his next movie, and I'm going to speculate because I've. Oh no! Where did I see it? I think I saw it on. Geek Tyrant.
Jim Henson, Eden, 13 Lives. Oh, no,
Like,
they're
I'm not
all
going to know the
old
name
ones.
of it. I'm just going to know the cast because basically he's doing a movie that's got Sydney Sweeney, Margaret
Oh, yeah.
Qualley, and just fucking every hot chick that's popular right now. He's just putting them in a movie together.
Anna de Armas, Sydney
Yes.
Sweeney, Vanessa Kirby.
Yeah, Vanessa Kirby. Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
All
He's
right.
like, you know what I'm going to do now.
Yeah.
I've got a list here. Oh, there's cast for your movie? Yeah. Yeah.
His wife found it on his desk, and now he's like, "Fuck, we got to make a movie with these people in it to explain this."
Have you seen that? Bryce Dallas Howard came out and said they had to airbrush her butt out of a poster for whatever movie she was in most recently. And I'm like, that is a crime against humanity.
Why would they have to do that?
Well, it just didn't fit on the poster, I guess.
Oh, Bryce Dallas Howard.
I watched a Tom Cruise movie this week.
Oh yeah. Oh yes.
Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning, because I
Yeah.
hadn't seen that, and I didn't really like it.
Yeah, that was
wasn't
the
very
previous
good.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
It
I mean, I thought it
wasn't-
was fine, but
It was absolutely fine, but the other ones are fucking great.
I feel like out of all of them, even more so than the most recent one is less like this. But that one, Dead Reckoning Part 1, is the most sticky taped plot to just Tom Cruise driving a bike off a mountain.
And here's
because
the
it doesn't
thing.
even makes no sense that he even does that in the movie.
It is 100% Tom Cruise's fault, and I love Tom Cruise, but any movie he's allowed to make too many decisions behind the scenes turns into this. It's like the second Jack Reacher movie that he did. Like the
Sure.
first one was terrific.
Yeah, it was
and
a
the
good movie.
second one, which I think is also directed by this guy who's just Tom Cruise's mouthpiece now. You know, he just gets him to direct the Mission Impossibles and just tells him what he wants to be in there.
Christopher
Yeah,
McQuarrie.
Macquarie. Yeah.
Well, because of Tom Cruise, we're not getting all those monster movies because of what he did with the Mummy.
No, that's
And I didn't think that was all that bad.
No,
it
it
was
wasn't
funnier
good,
than
but
I
it was-
remembered it
yeah.
or thought it was going to be. But yeah, I didn't like this, and I was actively not liking it while I was watching it.
Yeah,
It was
sure.
cheesy and camp in ways that the others weren't.
sure.
It's more similar, I suppose, to the second one, Mission Impossible 2, than
Yeah,
it is
okay.
to any of the other better ones.
Yeah.
It still looks good, and there's great stunts, and the performances are all
Yeah.
fine, but
But I feel like I just really you look at Fallout, which I thought was really really good, and the stunts and stuff fit. Like it's part like it makes sense that
Yes.
they're doing these things. Like there's a helicopter chase because it makes sense given the
or
plot
even
that
something
there
like
would be.
Ghost Protocol, which is a
Yeah.
fucking ridiculous movie with a ridiculous plot, so over the top, but they just play it for truth and it works. You know?
Yeah.
This one was like, okay, come on, whatever.
like-
you're not even really explaining what this is why I should care about any of this. Like, I actually stopped the movie about 30 minutes in and went and watched a recap of the last one because I'm like, they must have explained
No, the
who
AI
made
thing
this,
and all
what
that.
this is, and all that. Because
No,
you just
it
told
comes
me,
out of nowhere.
yeah, but in a really unsatisfying way.
Yep.
Just
Like
what the plot
rabbit's
needed at that
foot.
point.
Okay, you didn't tell me what that is, but you also don't act like I'm supposed to know. You act like it's a mystery. This one, you're acting
Well-
like I should already know all this backstory.
Yeah. You'll watch the next one at some point, I assume.
Yeah, I will. You can spoil
wanted
it.
to-
I don't give a shit. I'm
I
not
did
enjoying
get-
this. So you
It
might
doesn't,
need
plot
to
doesn't
get-
matter.
I need to go back to Bryce Howard
Yeah.
go on.
because I was looking up the Cedar quote and everything, but then I've got
That's why
Google
he's so
saying,
quiet.
I've got Google asking, like, people also ask, is Bryce Howard a Nepo baby? How did Bryce Howard get so big? And then it goes on
Big
to
as in
what
famous or
size,
big as in bum?
I don't know, I didn't click on it. And then what size are Bryce Dallas's breasts?
Right.
And is Bryce Dallas Howard a natural ginger?
Yes. Have you? Yeah. Have you seen her dad?
Nepo
Yes,
baby.
she is.
Beautiful
Yeah.
ginger breasts.
But yeah, I just, my God, people are
Ginger
Googling
flavoured?
this so much that Google is going, you must be wanting to know this.
Just here it is before
Yeah.
you even ask. Luke, did you
Yep.
find the poster that her bum was brushed out of?
I haven't quite found it, but I've sort of seen the exact. But I'm seeing comparisons, and yes, yeah, like it's
Poster
there's a
edit.
really good comparison. One where she's promoting
In
in a
Jurassic
blue dress just at the
poster.
thing, and then there's a white dress where you can see, and yeah, there's definitely some Photoshop happening, and they have reduced it.
It's the opposite of
Oh, I see.
Kardashians.
Kate Beckinsale on the on the Underworld where they superimpose breasts in.
I didn't know this. Okay, so this article is about Bryce Dallas Howard's butt. It was in the poster for Jurassic World. She was in the first one, and I like Bryce Dallas Howard. I think she's very pretty, and
me too.
you know, I'm a fan.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I have noticed.
Did we all just agree on somebody? Oh,
Maybe.
Jesus Christ.
Also, you get to be Ron Howard's son-in-law.
Yeah.
But she was in that Black Mirror episode,
Oh, yeah. Yep.
and she was big in that.
Yeah.
And I was surprised by that, and I had wondered whether you know what happened there,
How'd she get around that? Yeah.
because she in Jurassic World, for example, she's very not big. She's looks like a beautiful film actress woman who has a physique like a film actress woman. You know, you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Matt's tripping over
Yeah.
political correctness. Yeah.
Exactly,
She looks
exactly.
like a movie star.
Yes, and in the Black Mirror episode, she does not. She
looks like
according
a
to this
beautiful,
article,
real woman.
intentionally gained 30 pounds for it because
Oh.
the character was the storyline included body shaming, so she put on 30 pounds for it. I was like, oh, that explains it.
Yeah. Actually,
'Cause
when
I
I
was
turned
surprised
40,
by it when I
intentionally
watched it.
gained about 30 pounds as well,
Yeah.
just in case I was asked to do a role about a gentleman with a beer belly.
Yeah. Anyway, that just explains something that I've always wondered about. Was just why was she so big in that?
Oh, that's
episode of
interesting. I
Black
just
Mirror?
assumed that
she
that's
did it on
how she
purpose.
is if she doesn't go to the gym every day.
Correct. Yeah. She just isn't fussed about it most of the
I
time.
mean,
know.
that's right. Yeah. I mean, I
So,
assume
yeah, she
most famous and rich people wouldn't look that good if they didn't have the money and motivation to
Sure.
get into that.
But yeah, she just did exactly the same thing like that other actors do. Like
Yeah.
what's his name? X-Men. Wolverine.
He's
Just stacking on
well,
on the
Christian
weight.
Bale.
and then-
Man.
Christian
Getting
Bale
it
does
off.
too. Have you seen Christian Bale for the John Madden movie? Fucking hell.
It's fucking hilarious. It's so funny. And I only know John Madden from the games. Like,
Yeah,
I do
same.
not know him in real life. I just know him from,
And that's all we've ever known him for, because we didn't grow up watching American
No.
football or anything. We only know that sport really from the John Madden games.
Yeah. I mean, even people like Tony Hawk, I mostly know from the games. I'm
Yes.
aware he's a pro skateboarder, but I've not watched him skateboard. I've fucking played his game, though.
I still love, you see him posting every now and again about the amount of people who come up and go, oh, you look like that guy. And he just keeps getting people thinking that he's him.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what?
was-
The only better skateboarding game than the Tony Hawks, because I think as skateboarding games, those are the pinnacle. But the only better one was the Metal Gear Solid, where you could just skate around on that battleship as Solid Snake if you wanted to. There was just like an option where you could just do that instead of playing
I've
through
not
the game.
done that.
Could not get into that
Fucking
game.
fantastic. Oh, really? I loved that game.
Just couldn't
Back in,
do it.
I haven't played for years. Do they still make them? Maybe they
Yeah.
do. I don't know.
Well, they're doing a lot of remakes recently.
I was going to say Death Stranding 2 just came out, so he's free now.
He's yeah.
Did it just come out, or is it coming out?
It's
I
I
don't
think it's
User
out this
out.
week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
On
People are pretty
PlayStation.
impressed. People are pretty impressed.
I want to say, just before we move on from Mission Impossible, did you note as well, Dan? Because my main memory of that particular film is that, yes, the big stunt in it was the one where he rides the bike off the cliff. And I felt like there was two things about that. One, I felt like that wasn't justified as in the plot. It was it was ridiculous.
Absolutely
like
unnecessary.
the justification for him having to do that. And then second of all, I know that he did that in real life. He rode the bike off the cliff and all that, and they filmed it. That's very interesting. I like it when movies do that. But it was immediately followed by he jumps off the cliff on a bike, pulls the parachute, and then does something that is completely implausible and obviously not really filmed, which is, you know what I mean, right? It's there's the what's her name, Agent Carter, I think. Somebody on the train is being held hostage inside the train by a villain, And after he does the big bike jump and comes down the parachute, he smashes through the side of the train and kicks the bad guy. And it's completely implausible. And I was like, why did you just not CGI the whole thing then?
Yeah,
because you've just ruined this amazing stunt by bookending it with nonsense. Like, I don't understand. Maybe it's just me.
No, I don't understand either. I don't
Like, if you're going to do a big practical stunt like that,
Keep it practical.
just make the big practical stunt complete in a way. And like, use CGI elsewhere in the film. I don't care. It feels like weird to
Or-
end it with something so obviously unrealistic.
Yeah.
Well, to do what George Miller does and like do a real stunt and then just put some extra CGI fucking explosions and stuff, so it just looks extra cool. But we know you really filmed something.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I just felt like, like the jump and everything was cool, but then you're kicking through the train. I was like, oh, you ruined it. Like, why'd you put that in there?
What would happen is he'd hit the train and then just get scraped along the side as the train kept going.
What would
at
happen
speed.
is he wouldn't be able to see that was even happening because they're in a
Especially
fucking train.
not from where he started riding the bike from.
That's what I mean.
Like, you'd have to have aimed from pretty far away.
It's just utterly ridiculous. Like,
I
Anyway,
might watch them one day.
I still like
probably
them.
Watch Fallout.
I got hooked into the nostalgia of, they do this on purpose in the last one, reminding you've been watching these for fucking 20 years or whatever, and now you're in the theater again, and you're watching the last one, the last one. Yeah, they even, like, in the movie it does that. It's like, remember this?
Well, he's now 60.
Yeah, true. There's bits I liked. There's definitely bits I liked. I liked that scene where he weaseled his way into that fucking government board meeting with that weaselly bastard who always fucks him over. And then
what's
when
his
he's
name?
like, how are you going to get out of here? And he just
Kittrick.
pulls out a mask of him. And
Yeah.
he looks like, oh.
yeah, that comes up again in the next one. They talk about
Awesome.
it because the president's like, he's asking them to give him like a battleship, an aircraft carrier that he can use, and then the security, like, I think it's what's his name, Nick Offerman, plays like this military guy, and he's looking through this list and he's going, "You did this? You infiltrated a government meeting and you left disguised as him?" And then they're all like, "Yeah, he did do that."
Yeah.
So it's pretty funny. Speaking of action movies, some big news
Yes.
this week.
Some very big news. Yeah.
I freaked Jenna out because you sent us a message with this piece of information, and it was evening, and we were watching something like, I don't know, an episode of Welcome to Wrexham or something not particularly, something low key because we were very tired, and I I was like, oh my god, and she was like, what, and like paused it, and I was like, hang on, I need to make sure this is true before I tell you. Because I was very excited by this news, and then I told her it wasn't. She was like, oh. So I put the show back on. So,
You know, it's
what's
funny
the
you
news?
say that. Well, yes, the news is that the next James Bond director has been chosen. But before we even say who it is, and I know people probably know because this is be a week
Yes.
in the past by the time you hear this, but I did a similar thing, but not quite the same because my wife texted me and said that, and I went, holy shit, and immediately texted you guys, and they went, wait,
Was I
did she
supposed to
see
know
a news
that?
article about this, or is this because this is happening at her work?
Right. Yeah, this
And
is
so I
public
quickly
knowledge.
Googled to see if it was on the news, which it was.
Okay. So who is it?
Oh, it's Denis Villeneuve. You might have seen some of his movies.
Yes.
It actually disappoints me
I'm sorry, buddy, but
because this feels like we're not going to go back to fun Bond.
You know why they can't, though? You know why they can't?
They can
Austin
very
Powers.
easily.
No, he ruined it. He made fun of it, and now you can't go back. You can't parody a parody.
I reckon you can. Let me do it. I'll make it work.
I would have been interested in seeing Edgar Wright's version. I will admit that. I would have been interested
yes.
in what he would do with it.
Yeah, I would have been. I would have liked. They've talked for years and years about Christopher Nolan too, and that I would be interested in. But he wasn't apparently even trying to do it. So
apparently, he said, "If I was to do it, I'd have to have final cut. I'd have to have
They won't
complete
do
final
that.
say over the script and the edit and everything."
And
else.
you
Like,
wouldn't
that's
know
not
what
how
the
James
ending
Bond
was about.
works.
You'd
Denis
have to
Villeneuve
leave
is
the
not gonna
theater
have to do
going,
that.
what was that?
because times have changed.
Yeah,
right.
No. They specifically says in this article, Denis Villeneuve is director for hire on this. Like
Oh, okay.
every other Bond, you have to do what they say. He may, as he's the first director of a new, he may have some say in the cast. But I was reminded when I was chatting with Hui the other night that like no directors have ever had say in the cast of Bond. That's always been a production decision.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, this is very exciting because, for me, Denis Villeneuve, so far, appears to make movies for me.
You like.
Like, there's not a single movie of his that I haven't watched that I felt in some way he and I are on some kind of same wavelength with what's good. You know what I mean?
I agree, and I just want to make sure that there's none that I'm forgetting.
Because I was like, you got even the earlier stuff like Prisoners and Sicario, right? They're not sci-fi or anything like that. Those movies are fucking incredible. Both of those
Prisoners
movies.
is fucking great.
Yeah.
Sicario is fucking great. I haven't seen his French language movies.
I have not either. But then Blade Runner 2049, Dune, The Arrival, just everything he's done is either, I would say, oh wow, what an amazing movie, or at least like really good. There's nothing he's done that's bad.
Enemy is great. Have you seen that?
I've not seen that.
Put that on your list. You have to now. 6.9 out of 10. I disagree with that. I disagree with that rating. Jake Gyllenhaal sees an exact double of himself.
Oh. I'm already in.
Yeah, that's it. That's all I'm going to tell you. That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
Do you get paid?
No, I
twice
just
for
think
that?
Denis Villeneuve is great. Yeah.
Yes, he is good. Do you get what?
Paid twice if you're in a movie playing two characters.
Probably do. You probably...
Yeah.
although...
That's why Eddie Murphy's always playing everybody.
yeah, that's right.
He needs the
Ryan
money.
Reynolds movie where it's just Ryan Reynolds in a box for 2 hours? He's buried underground in a box?
I don't know.
No.
How does Luke not know?
I know.
Luke loves
Actually,
Ryan
this
Reynolds.
is Ryan Reynolds news. Let me just quickly get this.
I saw something about Ryan Reynolds. I'll wait until we're doing the news, though.
Sorry, just to finish that story, Ryan Reynolds in a box. Apparently, he took a pay cut for that because he's the only person on screen, because of the billing, like top billing, just on screen. Like it's just the exposure is so great.
Only billing.
Yes, that they didn't have to pay him quite as much, which I thought was
right.
interesting.
I was in the before movie credits of a film once. Didn't get paid anything.
Was that Gassassins?
No. It's a film you'd be familiar with, Dan.
Yeah. I figured I would be.
It's called The Tail Job.
Yeah, I also didn't get paid anything for that movie. I lost quite a bit of money on that. Actually, I know we broke even in the end, but
I got exposure. That's what I got.
yeah, everyone.
I got,
I'm trying to
I got
find
exposed to
Ryan Reynolds in a
Sony
box.
executives.
It's called Buried or something like that. Hold on. Can I just say?
I have heard of
before
this movie.
Before we get off Denis Villeneuve,
Yes.
I agree, Matt. Like he's made 10 movies in French Canada, but if we don't count those because I haven't seen them, his first English language movie, so his first Hollywood movie, was Prisoners, which is fucking great. Enemy, Sicario, Arrival, fucking great.
Yeah.
Fucking goes up a level even for Blade Runner 2049 and Dune. He's got Dune Part 2. Here are his upcoming projects. Fucking Dune Messiah on the horizon. So yes, please.
Which it's still no idea how he gets to make that.
Yeah. Well, he's also doing Rendezvous with Rama. So fucking
Oh, yeah. I
I'm
know.
all in for that.
Arthur C. Clarke
Yeah.
book. So he's
Although-
doing that.
Love that
People should
book.
not get their hopes up about this movie. That book is not the fastest book in the
No,
world.
it's not.
No, God, no.
Yeah,
And actually, not a lot happens in it, and you
No.
don't. It's not satisfying if you want to know what the fuck is going on. And apparently, I've read the first one a bunch of times. Apparently, the sequels try to go into what's going on, and it's not very good
Yeah, right. Yeah,
because they're not written by Arthur C. Clarke.
No.
And it was somebody, because you never find out what Rama is, why it's there, kind of
Yeah.
thing, and the mystery is kind of why it's so compelling.
You do
And we
meet
try and
other
explain it.
creatures who, because it's sort of, because it's always they had 3 of everything. So yeah, they plan to go onto the ship, and then they meet other aliens, and yeah, it's a whole big thing. But the first book is on its own is just brilliant. But yeah, don't
first book
expect
rules.
action.
No, there's none really. Rope
not
climbing,
really.
bit of rope climbing.
Climbing. There's the anti-grav bike thing.
Oh, that's
yeah.
right. The guy flies over to the
Flies
the
to
reactor
the
and stuff.
ocean.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, that'll be good.
Does he have too much on his plate at the moment, though?
That's actually one of the articles I read about this said even people, at the studio were surprised that A, they could get him because he's so busy, B, that he'd agree to do it because he will be at least somewhat restricted, and C, he's certainly the most expensive option
Right. Yes. Yeah.
that they had. So,
I imagine he's just going, well, this is just on my fucking bucket list. Like,
yeah,
I want to be able to tell my
add it to
10-year-old
the-
kid that I've made a
to the
James
file.
Bond. Like,
Yeah.
I've made a Blade Runner now. I'll just do a James Bond as well. But he's definitely going to do it serious. He doesn't make funny movies. Doesn't make silly movies.
no, not so far.
I'm interested to see how we'll do it and
Well,
how
you're
it
gonna
will
be-
be different.
You're going to be waiting a while.
Yeah, right.
You say that, but there were some laughs in Dune.
That's true, especially the second Dune.
Yeah,
The second
Stilgar
Dune was,
was
dead set
funny.
funny. Stilgar
Yeah.
was fucking hilarious.
so he can do it.
And he wasn't funny in the books. That was just something they did for the movie.
Yeah, yeah. So maybe it'll be.
Actually, the first one was funny too, where he's like, "Oh, you put on a bit of muscle." He's like, "Oh, have I?" He's like, "No."
Yeah, Stilgar was good.
Yeah.
Lisa Al Gaib.
I could watch that again. The only problem I had with it was that I believed that Timothée Chalamet could have been the Emperor of the Universe up until that scene where fucking Side Rather walks in and he's just the most fucking hardcore, charismatic, tough guy I've ever seen, and I'm like, he
That's the
kick
Emperor.
Timothée Chalamet's ass. Yeah.
Now, look, I'm excited about new Bond.
Yeah, but you're right.
I'm excited that
years away.
I'm excited that there'll be a new one. I'm excited that he's directing it.
Yeah,
I'm interested to see how it changes, though, because it's, with a change like this, new Bond, new director, it's going to have to be... it can't be Daniel Craig Part 2. Or
no, and in
one
fact,
has to
the
be
rumors are that they're going to make Bond younger.
Yeah.
But they might just be saying that because the James Bond video game is an origin story. So maybe they've just got that as a recency bias.
Maybe they'll see how that does too.
Matthew Good, the actor Matthew Good, he's excellent. He's very Matthew Good.
have we had
But
a young Bond before?
No.
I don't think really, no. They've always been...
Nope.
Do I know this guy?
He's in
don't
Stoker.
think I've
Have you
seen
seen
him.
Stoker? And if you
Oh,
haven't,
no, I should
you
watch that.
Yeah, you should watch
Bram
Stoker.
Stoker, presumably.
yeah.
Just a guy poking a fire.
Yeah, but Matthew Good said that he auditioned for it. I assume
Yeah,
at the
right.
Daniel Craig era. But he said he went into the audition having just read all the books, and he was like, right, the way I'm going to play him is that this guy fucking hates himself. He's a fucking drug addict. Everyone hates him. He hates himself, and no one quite knows why he's there doing this job. And they're like, we probably aren't going to do it like that, actually.
I love that the Cavill audition tapes leaked
Yes.
fairly recently, and it's like, oh man, it would have been quite different if it was him.
Yeah.
Quite different. It would have been very different.
The
And now
fucking-
it's
my
a shame he's
favourites-
too old now. That's such a bummer for him. Because I like.
Well,
Cavill.
he's not, because actually he's probably the right age for book accurate James
Sure.
Bond. Right?
But he was-
you
but they
can't
told him he
commit
was
to
too
30
young.
years worth it.
Yeah,
But
they
they're
told him
not
he was
gonna
too
put-
young for Casino Royale, and then now he's being told, "Oh, you're too old for what we want to do now." It's like, oh, that
the
sucks.
real problem is they're not going to put all this money to make Bond for TV.
Yeah, look, you say that, but Mission Impossible Fallout's the fucking best one, and he's great in it.
Highlander is going to be the decider.
I think he
Now
can do anything.
Now with added Russell Crowe.
I support Henry Cavill's efforts to do anything.
Russell Crowe, I think, is probably the worst choice, especially Russell Crowe today.
It's so funny because I keep being reminded that Russell Crowe was in Gladiator. It's like it's two different people.
Yes,
that's
Like
true.
the Russell Crowe in Gladiator does not exist anymore.
The,
As far
Oscar,
as I can
the
tell.
Oscar-winning actor.
It's just so funny because I love Russell Crowe is
Yeah.
cool, but like it's just not the same person.
No.
No.
It's not the same person as, mate, you are this close to not getting invited to the orgy.
I read the interview with him the other day. Actually, I don't know what the context of it was, but he was telling the story about Gladiator. But the bit where he sees his wife when he gets back to the farm and his wife is dead or whatever, and he said apparently
Or whatever.
originally
Her burned body's fucking hanging.
his burn
from
body's
the front
hanging.
door.
Yeah. And apparently, originally, Ridley Scott was like, okay, you just walk over and you fall to your knees and you just stay there. And then he was like, nah, I wouldn't do that. I would go up and I would, if I don't get to her, then I've failed. He came up with this whole thing. And Ridley Scott was like, all right, fine, do what you're going to do. And then they did one take where he goes over and he said he got really into it and he was like, oh, crying and was like fucking snot all over her feet and everything like that. And then they go cut and Ridley Scott goes, okay, it works, but less snot. He's like, fuck, all right.
The man's an actor.
Where's that Russell Crowe?
Yes.
Yeah. Have you guys seen Romper Stomper? Where he plays a neo-Nazi?
yeah.
Oh,
not in a long
not
time, but
in
yes.
a long time.
Fucking intense in that.
Yeah.
Doesn't
Yeah,
he
good point.
curb stomp someone?
No, that's American History X with
He does bash a lot
Edward
of people,
Norton.
though.
He
Yeah.
does bash a lot of
That's,
people, yeah.
that's a very good movie.
Romper Stomper is very Australian, though, I think. I don't know if
Yes.
it made it
Yeah, it's the Australian
overseas.
version of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's racist against mostly Chinese, but also Italians.
Yeah. And he loves the footy show.
I was thinking about that the other day. My coat. My God. Oh, Luke. The episode of Detectorists where he, because the whole thing, Matt, is they want to find gold. Not just them. Anyone with a metal detector. The goal is you want to find gold.
goal is to find
And they
gold.
talk
Yeah,
about
okay.
it all the time when I find gold, and most of them never even do. But one of them finds a coin, but it's a Nazi coin. And so he's like, I don't know if I can do the gold dance for this. And he's like, well, tell me, what was on the coin? He's like, an eagle. He's like, was the eagle carrying something? He's like, yes.
I feel like that would probably be worth more in a weird way, right? Wouldn't it? In a collector's kind of way.
Maybe,
Nazi
yeah.
gold.
Yeah, but
I know you're not.
I
dance for it.
Yeah, and I feel I'd have to just hand that to somebody. I don't think I could make money off of it.
Yeah.
I think someone's owed that. That
I don't know whether it's because of Indiana Jones or whatever, but I have a feeling like it's just like there's just a vibe you get from like
from Nazis.
Nazi gold. No, like if I found Nazi gold, I'd be like, it's like it's no,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, you know,
They're just like
right?
the villains of everything kind of thing.
Yeah,
It's
and
like
it's
a-
all to do with gold. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, where's this fucking quote that I saved for you, Matt, today? Hold on.
Luke's worried.
Yeah, you should be worried. It's exactly what you think. Yeah. Someone on Twitter wrote, Hansel and Gretel ends with two Germans pushing someone into an oven. Just saying. And somebody else has written, yeah, but she deserved it. She was a big-nosed, curly-haired liar who was holding all the treats.
God. Oh dear.
I watched something else on both of your recommendations this week. I watched Last One Laughing.
What you think?
UK. I'm not watching the
Yeah.
Australian one. Fuck that. So funny. So funny.
Yeah.
And I watched it over 2 days. I'd watched like 3 one day, 3 the next day. What is it though that makes you think you're not allowed to laugh either. Like,
Sure. Yeah.
funny stuff's happening, and at one point I was like, oh, I want to put that on, but it's so stressful not being able to laugh. And I'm like, no, you can laugh.
They can't.
That's the whole idea of the show.
So good.
Shh, it's just magic.
I just felt great. I'd never
He does
seen
that
that
little-
guy before.
He does that little flow. Oh, you've never seen Bob Mortimer? Bob Mortimer is so funny.
It's like a real life. I was about to say real life Ricky Gervais. That's a real person. Like a real life David Brent. When David Brent did that,
Oh,
public,
the
yeah,
Yeah.
the motivational talk.
sexual harassment thing. There's
Yes.
been a rape up there.
That's what it reminded me of. Is David Brent.
Look, I would just.
He was the only one to get Ayati to laugh. Both times it was Bob Mortimer.
But that was something I
I
found
thought you
was
meant
like
arms dealer. No, that was my mum.
She sold swords.
with Richard just trying to walk out the door every time. I just found that stupid thing funny.
Yeah. I love how he would find if he could tell if he was Ayati, if he's
He was
talking to
close.
you, and then you could tell if something was going to get you. He'd just fucking follow them around the room and then keep asking them about
But
it.
also the fact that he went in there almost in character as
Yeah.
someone who didn't laugh as well.
Yes.
Like,
Well, that's
method
that's
acting
his
someone who
whole
didn't laugh.
persona. Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
him,
but
though.
he had that advantage. That younger female comic kind of had the same, that dry kind of. But then, she didn't last.
Yeah,
Very
such
funny.
a good show. Almost surprising to me that it's not been done before now, because it is a really, really good premise.
Yes,
Like, it's just yeah.
Well, it's also be an easy show to sort of do. It's
Yeah.
one day you're
One
filming.
day.
One
filming.
one day of filming and you get a whole
Yeah.
season of a show. Yeah.
Yep.
Mind you, at one point where they the fourth person was out, Jimmy Carr was like, "We're not going to get to 6 episodes if you guys keep laughing this quick."
Yeah. What's that? The Bake Off host. She's in the fridge, and then they're all just like, "No, fuck no,"
Close that fridge.
because her
But
laugh
then he's like,
is so
"You're going to
insane.
be known as the guy who closed the fridge door on whatever her name is."
I can't remember her name. But her laugh is so infectious.
Yeah,
She has like a big fucking laugh, and then you can
But then
tell Bob's
is it
just
Iwadi
like,
who
"No."
just goes, "Has she just been waiting in the fridge, waiting for one of us to open it?"
So funny.
Was
Anyway,
it her,
listeners,
or was it one of
watch
the
it.
other special surprise guests where somebody said, "Look, I really like you and I really respect you and I've always wanted to meet you, but I just can't. I'm going to walk
I cannot
away
talk
right
to
now."
you. Yeah, I cannot talk to you. Yeah. Yeah. My favorite thing in it is when someone gets halfway through an anecdote and then just goes, "No,"
shouldn't have
and
brought
walks
this up.
off because
Yeah,
they're going to laugh.
yeah.
Like, I'm about to make myself laugh.
Yeah.
There was
Love
one
it.
woman who got out by doing that. The really kind
Yes.
of and then.
It was about
But
the
no
old
one
people
else was
making
even
more
laughing
mess
because
than
she hadn't gotten to she hadn't gotten to the funny bit, so no one else was laughing, and they're like, "No one asked you to tell this story."
You've done. Yeah, it's Yada says you've torpedoed yourself.
Yeah.
Why have you
Yeah.
done this?
So I just looked up to see how many versions of the show are. There are 25 versions of it.
Wow.
There's something like 20 versions of that fucking
Taskmaster.
dark fucking murder show, The Bridge, where they find a body on
Oh,
the bridge
yeah.
between two countries. Every country that borders another country has bought the rights to it.
What I do find funny on this little blurb I just put, like there's 25 different versions, like all over the world, but they go surprisingly no American version yet, and I don't think it would work
That's
for
not a
Americans.
surprise. No, I don't either.
Yeah.
Who would you even have in it?
Yeah,
I could see like
you
the people, so like Steve Carell or somebody like.
But they're movie stars. Britain has TV shows,
Yeah.
like non-scripted, where the idea is just these are the people who are on these shows and they're funny.
I think
Yep.
you get like the Sunny Guys or somebody maybe, but then they would just laugh. Like
Yeah.
like you can get Rob McElhenney in there; he'd be fucking out in a minute. He's always laughing.
Did you read this week that he's changing his name?
Rob McElhenney?
Yes.
Why?
He's going to change his name to just Rob Mac.
Is he? Okay.
Yeah. Well, I read that he was. I mean, that's all. I mean, I don't have a source other than the internet, but I was like, oh, okay.
But they've got. a whole song about him that Ryan Reynolds had commissioned. Oh yeah, we got Ryan Reynolds news. We never got to that.
Oh yeah, what was the Ryan Reynolds news?
I don't know what the news was, but I did see.
Oh,
you just reminded me. The thing I saw about Ryan Reynolds was that it was. Where did I even see this? Someone saying that Ryan Reynolds is very unpopular amongst other celebrities because he tries to insert himself into a lot of things, and he tries to. No. He just tries to make. Like if he shows up at a premiere, he likes attention,
okay.
and so he's very apparently. I don't know. This might have just been horse shit. But it was a thing saying that yes, he's unpopular amongst other stars because he's very attention seeking and he tries to take over everything. I was like, oh, okay. I mean, I guess I believe it just because of his personality, but I don't know how true. I don't know how actually true that is.
But I don't know whether I care or not. Funny people are, they always do that. I can't imagine Robin Williams went to a lot of parties and was like, I'll just be in the corner drinking. I don't want any attention to myself.
Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
I remember not my Rob McElhenney news, my
Ryan Reynolds
news, but I'll leave it to the after party as a little tease.
All right.
That's where I'll put it.
I know listeners who are confused why the association between Rob McElhenney and Ryan Reynolds is Welcome to Wrexham. Season 4 is out. I've been watching it. Quite good. Continues to be good. Yeah.
I've not watched
They're
it.
coming to Australia.
Oh.
Who are? Wrexham?
Wrexham.
Oh, cool.
They're coming to play some exhibition matches.
With the Socceroos?
No, with just our local A teams. So not even like the Australian teams, like the local Sydney FC or whatever it is.
Yeah, right.
Getting it smashed.
One thing, they've done that over here. They've come over to play US teams and stuff. Actually, in the women's Wrexham team did it too. You see that on this season. One thing I found interesting this season, Wrexham are doing really well, and they weren't. And I think you can attribute a lot of it to the financial
massive influx of
basically
money.
Correct money and just like and tourism and like the community's doing better, the team's doing better. It's been a win for them.
Sure.
And I think the documentary is a big part of that. Not just the fact that Rob and Ryan own and are putting money in. They've made it into a spectacle.
Yes.
And it's been very successful. And so
Would
there's
they
another
have done
team.
it if it wasn't going to be a show too? Or did they do it
No, I think that
to
was
be
all
a funny
part of
idea?
it.
Yeah, okay.
I think they talk about it in the first season. They take we want to do this whole thing.
Yeah, remember they were filming the show while they were going to the town to go, can we buy it?
Yes,
They were voting
yeah.
on it, whether they
Well, I think the first
episode.
episode is because the board had to decide, will we let these fucking Hollywood
Does one of them like
guys.
soccer? Did either of them? Do they both like soccer?
I think Rob. I don't think
Right.
Ryan Reynolds had anything. I could be mistaken, but I think it was
I just
Rob
don't know a
pushing
lot of
for
Americans. Oh, he's not American. He's Canadian.
it. Ryan Reynolds. Yeah,
Ryan Reynolds.
Rob's
yeah.
American,
Yes,
but
yes,
I think
that's what I mean.
I think
Maybe
Rob
that's
was pushing for it. I think it was his idea, and then
But that's the thing. They didn't know each other before they went into this venture.
actually. No, because I think one of the jokes was Rob was like, I wanted to do this thing and I needed somebody with a bunch of money to do it with me so that I didn't have to pay for it all. And so so he contacted Ryan
Who's
Reynolds.
also roughly the same height and muscularity as me.
more money.
But there's another team now who has hired, what's the fucking football player, the American football player from Boston. People who live here are going to...
Not going to know.
Anyway, there's another team doing a similar thing where they've gotten a big American investors who are making a thing out of it. So it's kind of like, so basically, Americans are now getting involved in British soccer, and it's become controversial because there's a big influx of American money now to improve these teams.
But also, sometimes just because it worked one time doesn't mean it's going to work the second time.
Where is Wrexham in the United Kingdom?
In Wales, it's like
north.
it's kind of
okay.
yeah. It's like I think a bit down from Liverpool and whatnot. I think it's a day trip from Liverpool, is my understanding.
Yeah, all right.
Just across into Wales. Anyway, interesting show.
Yeah, I saw one episode and enjoyed it and then never watched it again.
That's how good it is, listeners.
That's pretty much how I did Clarkson's Farm too. I watched
Oh,
the first
really?
episode and went, oh, yes, quite good. Yeah, just never put it back on.
The new season of Clarkson's Farm is very good. Season
Yes.
4.
I can't believe they've got 4 seasons out of that. Honestly,
It just
I
keeps doing.
enjoyed it pretty good, but I just can't believe it's more fun.
Just keeps doing stuff. No, he's
It's good.
doing.
No, it's different every time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he's trying stuff. Like he tries the restaurant one season.
Oh,
This new season, slight spoilers for a show that you probably see this in the trailers or whatever. This season,
reality show.
he's buying a pub, and it's
right.
So it's like, yeah.
Ooh, that'd be nice. I'd like to buy a pub.
Oh, you should see the fucking pub he bought.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Did you watch it, Luke?
No, not the new season. No,
It's beautiful.
I only seen up season 3, which was because the first season was the shop. The second season was the lambs.
Sure.
They've all got their own sort of bit of a side project thing.
Mushrooms.
It's not just
one season.
I'm planting
Mushrooms is
seeds.
very funny. He decides to grow mushrooms. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. That's the theme of the whole show is he decides he wants to do
blank,
something and he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. Yeah, but he'll have a go, and then professionals will stand there and laugh at him.
Yeah.
That's kind of
be
basically the
annoyed.
premise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny when I looked at the spreadsheet before we started recording, I was like, sucked in, listeners. This is all going to be about Star Wars because there's so much Star Wars news.
We haven't touched
We
it.
didn't get to any of it, and we probably won't in the after party either. Stay tuned next week for some Star Wars news.
Yes.
And if you want to stick around for the after party, patreon.com/multiple nerdgasm.
If you support at the $1 tier, actually no, you can sign up for free on the Patreon. You get the episodes over there. But you support us for $5 a month, you get the after party, which is more show every week.
Yep.
Which we're going to go and do right now.
I'm going to tell an anecdote about my accent.
And I'm going to talk about Ryan Reynolds and sexual harassment.
That's all for this week. Thank you for listening and we hope you enjoyed the show. If you enjoyed it, then please subscribe in iTunes to receive episodes automatically. We'll see you next time.